Sup, peeps? Smackdown, March 6th. Let's get into it. Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes had another back and forth. And, yeah, man, Sammy's losing it, man. He was talking about that Cody, basically what he was saying is that Cody shouldn't be getting another chance after he lost all those times. Sami said, well, Cody keeps getting chances, but I don't. And Cody kind of had a problem with Sami saying that to him. Sami said he didn't mean for it to turn into a big argument, and then at the end, he told Cody good luck. And then again, as Cody left, Sami had a little bit of a rage fit again. Sami Zayn is inching towards heel. He is going to turn heel coming up. Then later on, we see Sami and Randy Orton talking. And Randy Orton tells Sami Zayn to sometimes listen to the voices. Like, this is gonna be something, man. This is really gonna be something. Sami's getting ready to go heel, man. I see it happening. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll shake up WWE again. Maybe all these losses by Sami Zayn were adding up to something now. Maybe now it makes a little bit more sense. Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes. Here we go. We're going to fast forward to the end of the match, where as Cody was going for the disaster kick, Drew McIntyre, you can see it in the image, he grabs Charles Robinson and pulls him into the area where the disaster kick was coming from. Cody Rhodes accidentally hit the referee instead. With the referee knocked out, this is traditional stuff, right? Cody was in begging mode because he hit a crossroads a few moments later and then was wanting another referee to come out. Another referee finally comes out, but we know that when another referee comes down the ramp, it's usually too late. The referee's coming down there, and of course, it's this referee. We know about the bad history between Drew McIntyre and this referee, Dan Angler. By the time he gets down there and Cody turns around, he gets hit with a Claymore instead. Drew McIntyre goes for the cover, but it's only a 2 count. Of course, Drew has a problem with the referee saying it was only a 2 count. He winds up headbutting this referee, Dan Angler. The nonsense continues. Then Drew has bad intentions. He grabs a steel chair, and just as he's getting ready to use it, Jacob Fatu is there to stop it. He grabs the chair, and a few minutes later, Cody is able to hit a Cody cutter from the top rope and a crossroads and get the 1, 2, 3. So Cody has lost this title like multiple times now and keeps getting it back. Wow, that's interesting, man. Is this his like 3rd world title now? I think. But yeah, Cody got in the main event. Really, it's kind of like, I mean, we know like Nick Aldis kind of was doing too much on this. Like, why are we giving Cody another chance? He lost Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber, and as we know, once you lose both of those, that's kind of like that's it. Like, you don't have another chance, kind of, in WWE. But Nick Aldis said because Drew McIntyre messed up Cody's chances in those matches, then Nick Aldis decided to fight back with this. So it's Cody going up against Randy Orton at WrestleMania. But I don't believe it'll stay that way. I think Sami's going to wind up going heel, and I think it's going to be Drew McIntyre also gets interjected. It's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn Fatal 4-Way. I feel like that's probably going to be the main event of WrestleMania in the end. Before I go, I want to talk about one other thing, and that's what is next for Paul Heyman. Because if you don't know about it by now, Paul Heyman was attacked a few days ago on Raw by Seth Rollins. He first used decoys of the Masked Man to distract members of the Vision because the members of the Vision started chasing these masked man decoys. And that left Paul Heyman in the ring all on his own. Then another masked man decoy came out. Paul Heyman was in begging mode, while the real masked man, Seth Rollins, was behind Paul Heyman with a steel chair. He used the steel chair on the back of Paul Heyman, and then he was lining up for the stomp. And this image probably looks very familiar because remember, a few weeks before WrestleMania last year, we saw this same similar image, and then it was, "Now you owe me a favor." But this time he ran up and actually stomped Paul Heyman down. Yes. And then afterwards he walked out, and it reminded me of the Shield so much, man. The way he walked out. He was walking out with that same Shield walk, and then he jumped that barricade, and he was wearing the black. I mean, I don't know, man. I know I'm not the only one that got reminded of the Shield. Walking like this and then jumping that barricade. I know I'm not the only one. To me, this was better than, remember, WrestleMania a few years ago. He actually came out there in Shield clothes and in Shield music, or while playing Shield music. But to me, this reminded me even more of the Shield even than that. Like, this is like a deep memory, man. Like, it so reminded me of the Shield, man. And again, I know I'm not the only one that got reminded of the Shield at this moment. If you guys haven't seen it, go back and look at it. We saw Paul Heyman later on getting help, blood coming out of his nose, and he was in the ambulance. Austin Theory winded up getting attacked by Jimmy Uso. He threw Austin Theory into a bunch of stuff, and then the person driving the ambulance revealed himself to be LA Knight. And then LA Knight said, "Don't worry, he'll get the help that he needs." But LA Knight saying that Paul Heyman will get the help that he needs is a little bit concerning, to say the least. LA Knight drives off in the ambulance. Now, the question is, what's next for Paul Heyman? Paul Heyman's probably going to be away for a few weeks, but Brock Lesnar also is going to be back on March 16th. So is Brock Lesnar going to show up alone? Is Paul Heyman going to show up wrapped up in a bunch of stuff, like being dramatic? That's more of what I think is going to happen. Paul Heyman has a week to try to, heal back up. And then he's probably going to be there with Brock Lesnar on March 16th, wrapped up in a bunch of stuff, being dramatic and talking about the whole bit that happened to him. Is Brock Lesnar gonna now have a problem with Seth Rollins? Because, Brock and Seth Rollins do not have the best history already. So is he gonna have a problem with Seth Rollins for hurting Paul Heyman? And then now that's the next storyline. And Brock's like, never mind. Forget the open challenge. I want to have a match against Seth Rollins. The other way it could go is, does Paul Heyman heal and then, he gets back better and then we move on from that storyline? But I don't know. It's got to continue some kind of way, I think. I don't know if Paul Heyman is going to be on the very next Raw that rolls around. The Vision might be there and they might be by themselves. It might just be just the two members. But yeah, man, we will see. It's a lot going on in WWE right now. I say that the Vision is going to be by themselves without Paul Heyman next time Raw rolls around, but, I mean, maybe he could come back sooner than we think. Once again, probably wrapped up in a bunch of stuff and being dramatic, but he could come back sooner than we think. Because recently Jey Uso did. He came back a lot sooner than we thought. And if you guys don't know about that yet, Jimmy Uso wound up having a match with Austin Theory because of the whole brawl that happened earlier. And of course, as Jimmy Uso was going for a frog splash through the table, Logan Paul came, and then the brawl started, and then the numbers game started, And then Jay Uso's music hit, and everybody was like, what? Jay Uso was supposed to be injured. But he showed up from behind with crutches, and him and Jimmy used crutches on Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Maybe did Jay come back a little too early? Maybe, for the storyline. But maybe that's a shake-up too. Instead of someone being injured and always being gone a long time, maybe shake it up like this every now and then. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. But more questions will be answered when Raw rolls back around. That's it for this video, peeps. Peace out, peeps.